Hi, I'm Natalie, and welcome to Mind Over Monsters, where we talk about the horror films that reveal our humanity. Today I'm going to talk about my three favourite things about the disturbing horror movie genre. When I'm talking about the disturbing genre, specifically within horror, I mean horror films that usually contain one or more of the following elements: graphic violence or gore, taboo topics, moral ambiguity, and extreme psychological horror. Of course, the boundaries of any genre are always up for debate, but for the sake of this video, this is the definition I'm going to stick with. On this channel, we love to discuss all things horror and philosophy, so if that sounds like your thing, feel free to stick around. So let's get started. So number one, as mentioned in the definition for this video, the exploration of taboo subjects. This genre has an abundance of films that delve into taboo subject matter. And no, I don't seek out these kind of horror films based purely on this, not at all. And I'm sure we all have certain themes that for personal reasons we'd rather avoid. But what I do love is that when you've got one of these films and it does the storytelling really well, makes you think a lot or feel a lot for the often morally ambiguous main character, and gives a completely new perspective on something either shunned or not really talked about in society. It's so cathartic. If it can provide such a raw kind of catharsis, especially when it's a really unique story. A film that comes to mind is Nicolas Pesce's The Eyes of My Mother. I'll not get into spoilers for that film in case you haven't seen it, but it's basically about a young girl whose mother is a surgeon, and the young girl is really influenced by her mother. But then a tragic event changes her life forever, and strange and very disturbing events follow. This film definitely doesn't have the most taboo themes that you could possibly think of, but it's still very unusual. The things that happen in the movie, like resulting in a very unique story with very morally ambiguous characters, and certainly a lot to think about, which I like. So, yeah, that's number one. And number two is the prevalence of passion projects. So, in my eyes, passion projects usually refer to films written and directed by the same person, where the director has complete creative freedom and is telling a story that they're very passionate about telling, not just making a film for the sake of making a film. So this is something I really love and would love to do myself one day. I'm always up for a film with an emotional core, and most passion projects certainly have plenty of that. A film that immediately comes to mind when it comes to passion projects is Pascal Logier's Martyrs. I'll definitely cover this film in more detail in another video. I absolutely love it. So, to heavily condense Martyrs, it's a French horror film that centres on two women, Lucy and Anna, as they seek to uncover the truth behind Lucy's traumatic past. After years of abuse, Lucy embarks on a quest for revenge, leading to a harrowing series of events that gradually reveal a sinister and unsettling mystery. I find this film's overall meaning beautiful and very unique, and you can tell that it's very personal to the director. So, number three is the freedom for metaphor. Anything goes in this genre, which inevitably opens up your options for playing around with a more metaphorical approach to storytelling. This is a style I personally love due to its mysterious power. It often leaves more up to interpretation. The Babadook by Jennifer Kent is a good example of this, I feel. Yeah, maybe not the most disturbing, but it's definitely creepy, and I feel like the whole film is one big detailed metaphor for grief, and it's beautifully done. And I notice that throughout the film it has this tone of complete dread, and I find that metaphorical within itself, because grief itself is like a heavy cloud that is always hanging over your head, whether it's in the background or at the forefront. So yeah, that was my three favourite things about the genre of disturbing horror. If you enjoyed this video, please feel free to like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and remember, there can be no light without darkness. Thank you so much, guys. Bye.